All right, new GoPro Hero 9s. Got the media mods, so we should have audio. And I can see myself on the screen, but I think the front screen's kind of stupid because it doesn't show you the whole image. It shows a cropped version, so you don't really know if I'm on screen or not. But anyway, we're shooting in 4K, 4K60. I'm gonna go out for a little jaunt in the GT4 and talk about how much I love this darn thing. I'm really just going over to the garage and I'm like, man, I got the media mods that I've been waiting for on the Hero 9. See, we did a software update, or I did a firmware update, and then the darn thing stopped working, so you couldn't use a microphone. So that's why I had a few videos with crappy audio. So this will be the first test to see how it turns out. It's 52 degrees here in Florida, so we're freezing my butt off, and the car's going to take a little while to warm up. It's the water temp's 138 degrees, so we're just going to go around the block, head over to the garage, and just kind of talk to you about the GT4 and let you know my thoughts. But we do have to let the thing get warmed up. So right now, if you haven't been watching, this is the first video you're watching of mine. This is a 2020 Porsche Cayman GT4 in gentian blue, and I have carbon ceramic brakes. The only option I screwed up on is I should have done dual zone climate control because I don't get a temperature readout. But this comes in a PDK, but I opted for the manual. I've got the car a little bit lowered, some 7mm spacers on the front, and right now I have Soul Performance over axle pipes. That's what's on the car right now, and then the valves are disconnected. I do have a Soul Performance valve controller that I need to put on, but I have three or four other iterations to do. I actually just got the Soul race headers to play with those. I've got the race exhaust to try. So the race headers are catless. The race exhaust just eliminates the rear section and eliminates the valves altogether. And I opted for the resonated version. And then I have Soul's new valved rear section, which I'm kind of excited to try out as well. So I'm going to be trying all those. But right now, I love the way it sounds right now. Yeah, tire warning light. Because let's check our tire pressures. Yeah, it just shows low because it's so cool out. The Porsche, two things that the Porsche is not very good at. The oil gauge has gotten a little better, but the oil gauge and then the digital oil gauge, I wish I'd just put a dipstick on it. And the other thing that's problematic are the TPMS sensors. They just read weird readings all the time. So this car, man, I'm telling you, it's freaking fantastic. It's by far my favorite car, even over the GT3 RS. The GT3 is like an experience, getting in that and driving it. But this car just suits me so much to drive around in, drive around town. It sounds great, mid-engine, it's fast enough. The GT3 is clearly quite a bit faster than this, but it just, I don't know, it checks all the boxes for me, and it makes me not even want to drive my E92 M3. I think it sounds great. I think it obviously handles well. The seating position's fantastic. I mean, just everything about it is just amazing. I don't know, man. I was thinking about when I got in this, I'm like, this is kind of my car. Would I want a GT3 Touring over this? Being as a GT3 Touring's a $50,000, $60,000, $80,000 more just to get the GT3 engine. I don't know, man. Just listen how good it sounds. That's the auto rev match, which I love. Call me a sissy if you want, but I think the auto rev match is great. I mean, the only thing I would really need auto rev match for would be coming into a corner, because I can't heel toe very well or at all. But yeah, having a little less horsepower is fun too, because then, you know, I feel like I can rag this out more than I do at my GT3. I love the longer gearing though. I end up driving around in third gear, third and fourth gear everywhere I go. I think it's great. But that, you know, that does create a bit of a problem in that if you're going to leave the valves connected, then you have to deal with the fact that, you know, the valves are always closed. And so you definitely either want the valve controller if you're concerned about that. See right here at 3,300 RPMs, there's a little bit of transitional drone right there. But you have to be at like a weird level of throttle engagement for that to even happen. It's easy to work around, but I want to hear it. I want to hear the car, and I don't want to wait for the darn valves to be open all the time. So I just yanked the vacuum lines off and tucked them up into the heat shield under there, and oh, it's so much better. I'm just going to do an out and back and around, and it's a long little drive to the garage here today. Just to really, I wanted to do this just to test out these cameras to see how they do. But I'm telling you, man, this car, we're finally up to operating temp. Could you imagine this thing with a GT3 engine in it? Oh my gosh. Dang, can't catch a break. We're just going the wrong way. I don't want to go that way. Anyway, I needed to let the car warm up anyway. Listen to that thing. It's so good. We'll open it up here once we get past this guy. I'm just gonna go do a little U-turn up here. Guess they're turning. There's our one turn. Car just, you know, the mid-end just rotates so well. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. You know, we'll be doing a GT3 versus GT4 video coming up here. I don't think I would want to trade one for the other. But I think, you know, if you're making that sort of, I talk about this, or used to talk about this all the time, but that, you know, talking about progression, you know, and making that progression in cars, and you don't want to go right to the, you know, 458 from day one, or, you know, end up with a, you know, 918 or something at 16 years old. You kind of make that life progression, which I just think is a, you know, better way to work your way up. And so I think that you'd get a, you know, the question is, would you get a 911 first, and then a GT4, and then a GT3, and then a GT3 RS, if you're kind of working your way up the ladder? I would just be hard pressed to ever give this car up. You know, it's so good. I thought I had the suspension, felt a little stiff there. I had it on sport mode. My guess is I'm going to end up with these over axle pipes and the sole rear section, and then we'll try out the Dundon system. But I think a little more horsepower wouldn't be the world's worst thing in this car, but shoot, just with a little exhaust modification. I mean, I lowered the car on the factory coilovers. I don't think you really need to do that, but man, it makes me not want any other cars. I just don't want them. I just want to drive Porsches around everywhere. Great. It has a little bit of that GT Porsche kind of clingy-clangy that makes you think something's broken. But in general, it's pretty comfortable. There you go, old lady. Oh, they're test driving. Hopefully we can get out of here and go. Yeah. But the car has enough to throw you in the seat. I just find it hard to believe that I really would like to go out and race my M3, which is rated at pretty much the same horsepower output. I just think that this would stomp it. I think it's severely underrated horsepower-wise. I think that Dundon's kind of confirmed that. Let's not lambaste that bird. It's hard to find anything negative about this car. I don't think this car looks great. I think it has some weird angles. But in general, I think it's a decent looking car. It's an undercover cop. But again, this isn't my favorite looking car. I think the wing, the wing uprights, the RSNV wing riser upgrade, I think makes it look a little bit more aggressive. The Caymans in general, again, I don't think they're ugly cars, but I think that I think the 911's much better looking. I'm a sucker for the GT3 Touring look, that wingless, but yet still aggressive 911. Traction control or engagement. So this is what, 4,500 RPM. We could sit here all day. Even though this is I guess a bored and stroked. I don't know if it's stroked, but it's this is a bored 3-liter turbo engine with the turbos removed and bored out to 4 liters. I don't know if I'm using the right terminology there, but it's still super comfortable. Maybe not as comfortable as a GT3 at 7,000-8,000 RPMs, but it seems content to park yourself at 5,000-6,000 RPMs. See, there's 5,500, 6,000. You could just sit there all day and be comfortable. Meaning it doesn't feel like it's laboring. It feels like it's meant to be there. I'm gonna get a racing, RACESCNG racing shift knob in black. The shift knob is the one thing in here interior-wise that I don't love. It's a little too bulbous and kind of plasticky feeling. I mean, it's nice because it's Alcantara, but I am gonna change the knob out. really all we did was a Uniden R7 and a blend mount, tinted the windows, call it a day. Figures the only S-curve we got, well, they're driving all right, about 50 miles an hour, better than most. Hear that weird, like, almost sounds like the valves are getting in the way there. I mean, they are disconnected, but occasionally I have this kind of weird sound. Don't be a car hypochondriac, Matt. Just let it go. There, hear that? Weird. Just gonna slide it in here. Oh, that was a bird. There's another bird. And the brakes are typical Porsche amazingness. Yep, I love this car. Love it, love it. It's just my favorite thing I feel like getting in the GT3 is like an event. And I feel like I savor that event. It's kind of like, that's my TPMS sensor. I feel like, getting in the GT3 is like, it's like eating a, like a $150 ribeye that you just don't want to ruin it. You don't want to waste. I don't want to waste it. Where this is like it's like going to the grocery store and getting yourself the best ribeye they got for 18 bucks. And you can eat that every day. That's the way I think about this GT4. I would have no problem driving this 15,000 miles a year and just get a new one every couple of years. I bet you, I don't know what prices are on 30,000 mile GT4s, but I would guess it would just still depreciate less than most. If you're going to drive it that much, I'd definitely do paint protection film and then rip it off, and you got a fresh looking car. Wash it, maintain it. I've got 870 miles on it now. I should, I'll change the oil to 1,000. But I don't do the whole weird break-in thing. I just drive it like I would normally drive it. But see, I end up, in third and fourth gear the whole time, which is fine with me. Don't turn left. Don't turn right. Yes. Come on.
Front K-band.
What are you doing, lady? She's lost. Well, we're gonna help her get found. So I'm going around. That's K-band. See, we got a few turns around here. I'm gonna have to find some new roads because I sold my house. Just had inspection done. I'm about to find out how much damage that's gonna be. How much I'm gonna have to pay in repairs. But we have to find some new roads near the new house. It's fun though. Man, it's fun. Such a good car, I'm telling you. This is certainly a better value than the GT3 is. But, you know, my love is still the GT3. It's just okay to love this too, I think. Yeah, and I think, you know, if I could do it again, this color's really nice in the sun and stuff, but I just like lighter blues. It's a little dark for my taste. I think I'd like to have a white one. Again, in a perfect world, I'd love to have my GT3 in this color, have a GT3 RS in some darker color like this, and then have the GT4 in white. I don't know. I think I would just like it better. You know, this color is fun to polish and all, and it's nice, but I just think white suits this car better. Like, I wouldn't even want red or anything like that in this. We're going. Yeah, so I figured I'd take you around the block. Haven't driven the GT4 in a little while for you. Update it. We're gonna try to make like a good video of GT3 versus GT4. So I'm gonna try to make Mike and I are gonna make an awesome video, you know, comparing the two. So that's part of the plan here coming up. We'll get some exterior footage and flybys and all that kind of stuff. But some exhaust videos coming up here shortly on this, showing you what's doing. We always got to do the underpass. Still an 18-year-old at heart, trapped in a 40-year-old's body. Yeah, that weird little, it's like the valve gets stuck or something. I don't know what the heck that is. It's gotta be. All right, more GT4 videos coming soon. I'll keep you up to date. But thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you and I guess, you know, probably tomorrow. See you soon. Later.